Must have been when I was in Lower Slaughter. I met her in a pub when I was out for a walk. I wonder why she's moved. Interesting name, Ariadne. She chose it herself. She was Mary originally. She got very cross when Phil kept forgetting she'd changed it. Phil knew her. While Drew felt no hint of jealousy towards his wife's first husband, he did have some difficulty with Detective Superintendent Phil Hollis, with whom she'd been involved for a year or so. In the dim and distant past, I'm not sure I want to renew my acquaintance with Ariadne. She was terribly intense, and I don't think she really liked me very much. So why has she gone to all this trouble to remind you of her existence? Good question. We should acknowledge her at least. It sounds bad, I know, but the more supporters and friends we can keep hold of in the Cotswolds, the better it is for business. We absolutely have to have at least one funeral a week if we're to survive. I can see that, but I'm not sure Ariadne's likely to be of much use to us. But you never know. So he had carefully added the details to his database of contacts and emailed the woman to thank her for the note. He signed it, Thea and Drew. Within an hour, he had a reply. Great to hear from you. The burial ground sounds wonderful. Just my sort of thing. Can I draw your attention to my own new business? More of the same, actually, but better organised. Original hand knits. Homespun yarn. See the website. In an idle moment, Drew looked at the website and found pictures of gorgeous jumpers, capes, scarves, and a whole lot more, none of it with prices attached. It took him barely 10 seconds to decide to get something from it for Thea's forthcoming birthday. Which explained his visit to Gitting Power, where Ariadne had most of her stock. He found the house, a classic stone building set well back from the road, and walked up its front path, wondering how the woman Thea had described could possibly afford such a place. "Hey, you must be Drew," chirped the person who opened the door. "Ari, your man's here," she called over her shoulder. There were voices and music coming from a number of directions on both floors. 2 small children sat at the top of the stairs, watching him. A large black and tan dog strolled down the hallway, only mildly interested. There was an impression of a large, disorganised house full of good cheer and noise, which was as far from his experience of the usual contents of houses in Cotswold villages as you could get. "Come in," the woman on the door urged him. "The kids and dogs escape if we leave it open for long." He crossed the threshold with a strong sense of walking into an alternative dimension. A flurry at the far end of the passageway announced another person. She trotted towards him, pushing her sleeves down and fumbling with cuffs as she went. "Come in," she echoed. "This is so nice of you." "Not at all," he said stiffly. "Have you got time for coffee? You're sure to be busy, I know, but you'd be very welcome." He gave her a thoughtful inspection. Solidly built, her hair tied up in a vivid scarf, clothes sprinkled with fibres and fluff, she had dark eyes and a wide mouth. "You're Ariadne, I take it," he said, still sounding like a Victorian undertaker in his own ears. "Oh, yes, sorry, I should have said. How's Thea? I've heard a few stories about her since we last met, but I never expected her to take up the funeral business. Bit of a change from house-sitting, but then nothing lasts forever, does it? Things change. You're married, right? Fancy that." He could see her mentally comparing him with Phil Hollis, who he remembered had been a friend of hers. "I thought one of your jumpers—" "Yes, that's right. So nice of you. Although, I have to say, they've been taking off rather well just lately. I saw 2 people wearing them in Cheltenham on the same day last week. The high spot of my career so far." She led him into a large square kitchen, which, while untidy, was perfectly clean. The window sparkled, and he could see no hint of a cobweb. In one corner there was a dog basket, containing a shaggy animal, and a child even smaller than the ones on the stairs.